Yo, 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 yo. Let's get it.
Yeah, they had us the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the Shi-Fi Podcast, episode 98. And was gonna get straight into it. Tyler the Creator's album comes out this Friday. Um Call Me If You Can. I think this is the album coming out. I love Tyler the Creator. I I love Tyler the Creator albums. He's one of the few artists that I actually look forward to his albums because he knows he releases all the songs at once. There still is some magic with an artist releasing, all songs out all at once. And him and Travis Scott are the two guys that I can compare that to. Even Drake, he'll do four singles and then release an album. But we all know the best songs were those singles. So it's always kind of nice when someone releases an album and the fans decide which song is the best song instead of, giving us singles of just all right, you gotta like the song for the mainstream. Part of me loves that about Tyler the Creator and also Travis Scott. So I'm really looking forward to Tyler the Creator album. I'm loving the visuals he's releasing right now. What is it like? I saw a comment. It was like, oh, it's like the Grand Budapest, which I recently kind of got into those type of movies. The Grand Budapest Hotel, um, Wes Anderson movies. I recently got that from a friend, um, David. He would always I think last year, we're just binging Wes Anderson movies here and there. And I don't know, there's some aesthetic about it that I love about it. And I like it, man. I like it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this album. My prediction is that I'm really bad at these predictions, honestly. But my prediction for this album is that it's going to be more rap. It's going to be more rappy rap than the last two albums of Igor and Flower Boy. I think it's going to be a very more rap oriented because I don't know what it is, but I'm hearing a lot of DJ drama rumors of him DJing this whole album or just kind of collabing with Tyler. And DJ drama does not mess around. He doesn't do the whole pop thing. He's a rap dude. And with the song Lumberjack, probably sounds like it. Kind of sounds like it. But let's see. I will say, so Tyler Creator has officially released 5 albums, and I'm gonna rank them real quick. Top 5, fifth. Cherry Bomb. I don't know what it was about Cherry Bomb. It was very underwhelming just in his whole career. I don't know what he was trying to do really. I think it was just more of the same, and I think people get kind of tired of artists doing the same thing, which is perfectly fine. But sometimes artists need to kind of experiment and go out there a little bit more. Man, I mean, I don't even have a favorite track. It was that bad. I mean, if anything, Death Camp. If anything, yeah, it was a very. I remember when it came out too, and I was like, I mean, I listened to it and I was like, I don't really care for this at all. It was a weird situation. Weird. Man, let's face it. I will say, let's see. Okay, number 4, Wolf. This was his sophomore album after Goblin. I loved Dumbo 23. I loved IFHY. I love Trash Rain. I love Trash Rain. I still bump it to this day. Yeah, that was a very solid. It was okay sophomore album. But his top 3 above everything else. Number 3, Goblin. I remember when this album came out back in early high school, late junior high. It was like, this rapper is like, I loved it just because of how crazy and weird and just scary and horrific it was. I love horror movies. I love that scary vibe. Like, this man is I mean, I was like 13 years old listening to this guy. He's like, oh, I stab people and kill people. It's just like, it was very vulgar, and we all knew it wasn't like super real. It was just like he was painting a picture and just telling his thoughts and just being very blunt about a lot of things. You got Goblin, you got Yonkers, you got Sandwiches. Sandwiches probably is the most just radical song I've ever heard. And I loved it. I loved every part of it. Yeah, that was his very first album. And then top two. Top two is why I think Tyler the Creator is more of an icon nowadays and has separated himself. Number two, Flower Boy. I remember when this album came out, I was very impressed. I remember listening, and when someone would commentate about Tyler, I was like, yo, have you listened to this album? He is not the old Tyler. Like, that's what I loved about it, because he grew up. He grew up from that stabbing people vibe. Like, it was the polar opposite. And I love that. And I think that's what makes artists iconic nowadays. Like, it reminded me of like 21 Savage, of how 21 Savage kind of grew up and like separated himself from the whole SoundCloud vibe of him, and so you can always admire that about artists. Flower Boy, you got every song on his album is liked on my Spotify. I mean, my favorite, you got 911, I Ain't Got Time, Boredom, Pothole, Who Dat Boy, See You Again, Sometimes. A lot of great tracks on this. I think it was a top 5 album for me in 2017. I think so. And then number 1 album for sure, Igor. Very strange. This album definitely put him in even a more atmosphere of just great, very great. He released all this in one album. I mean, I think he did little spurts here and there of teasing it on YouTube, but this great album. It was such a cohesive album. It's an album where you can easily just play it back and forth. It was 12 tracks. It was not that long. I miss these days, man. I miss albums. I mean, New Magic 1, A Boy is a Gun, What's Good, Earthquake, I think, Gone. Just so much to be said. I loved it. I loved this album. It was I think my second favorite album of 2019. My top was the Chris Brown album, which, I mean, you can't beat that one. Yeah, very definitely with Tyler's career, Flower Boy and Igor have defined or has made him iconic. He jumped from the cool, evil weirdo to like, oh wow, he's a professional, and I think he got a lot more respect that way. I mean, that's just how people grow up. You grow up, and you make better music. That's why artists can never make the same music. And I don't want artists to make the same music over and over again. And so this is a classic example of Tyler's self-awareness. All right. What we got? All right, man. I think that's about it of Tyler the Creator. Call Me If You Can, I think, has potential to be a second or third best album of all time for me and for Tyler. Potential. It's going to be hard to beat Igor. It is going to be hard. I heard someone say, I don't know, I've been kind of on Tyler's Reddit and just seeing a lot of articles about, or Tyler the Creator has said in the past that he wants to release a whole just rap album, you know, since 2015, like after Cherry Bomb, just like a more professional just rap album. And I don't know how that would happen. I don't. That's very difficult to do. I mean, he's basically done it. But would he want to do it? Is there like a creative, authentic way to do it? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. It's gonna be very strange, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited. We'll get with that. What else? I was watching. Yeah, that's it about that. I was watching Cody Co's. I have never been more uncomfortable in my life than watching the past week of Cody Co videos of him kind of, you know, narrating or like commenting on this show called Moment of Truth. The most uncomfortable thing I have ever watched. The plot is basically the host and the host is asking this contestant questions, and the contestant, I don't know, some is with the polygraph, one of those polygraph lie detector things, and the host asks very, very personal questions in front of everybody, and they bring the family up. They have the family chilling. They have the significant other chilling with them. And plot spoiler. That first episode that Cody commented on his channel, that woman ruined her marriage, her relationship with her parents. Yes, it got that bad. I'm saying most uncomfortable I've ever been. She ruined her marriage, her parents' relationships with each other, and, you know, her parent to daughter relationship, her relationship with, I think that's mainly it. But I mean, she was answering questions like, do you have secrets from your dad that your dad told not, or what was the question? Are there any secrets that your dad told you to keep away from mom? And she said yes, and then the host was like, were you in love with another man on your wedding, during your wedding? And she said yes, and I was like, oh my God. And her husband is right there. Oh, and they brought out the ex-boyfriend, and he asked, would you marry me if you had, or something about, would you marry me if you could choose? She said yes. Oh my God. Man, if you're the husband, bro, in that show, you gotta leave right after that show ends. Oh my gosh. And I looked it up, and I think they divorced in 2 months later. Good for him, man. But seriously, that show exposes a lot. Man. And get this. She didn't even win the money because she lost the last answer, because you have to get every question right. And all you have to do is be truthful. And the last question, I think it's Shakespeare basically directed this show. They asked her, do you think you're a good person? She said yes. The polygraph said no. And she lost all that money. And I was like, this is poetic. Very poetic. Of course she would lie about being like herself. Oh man. So uncomfortable. I I remember, like, even during the show itself, halfway through, there was like a 30-second blimp of the host saying, I wish if I had a vote, I wish we would not have aired this next part. And I was like, what is about to go on? Yeah, I've never seen that much messiness just exposed right away. It reminded me of Mari, whatever. And just like, oh, you're not the father. Oh, you are the father. Like, just so messy and uncomfortable. Whew, man. Happy for the guy, though. Like, I'm happy, like, he had to get, like, I'm sad he went through that, but at the end of the day, man, I mean, he's still relatively young. But yeah, good for him, man, in a weird way. Gosh, so uncomfortable. Please check it out. Let's see. I saw Ime Udoka, whatever, is going to be the head coach of the Boston Celtics. I think. Okay, we're good. Hopefully he kept everything. But yeah, we're talking about Ime Udoka. Boston Celtics hired Ime Udoka. I think that's his name. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ime or whatever. I think his girlfriend's Nia Long, which is I did not know that. Did not know that. I saw Jay Williams tweeted, first black coach in Celtics history. What a accomplishment or whatever. And everybody was like, Doc Rivers, Bill Russell, I think Casey Jones even, or was he even one of the Boston Celtics have had a lot of black coaches. It's just a bad stigma they have with racism. I don't really know why, but they get all the heat when it comes to like NBA racism. But yeah, I like that. I'm not mad at that hire. I'm okay with it. I think they were interviewing a lot of like players as for the next coaches, and I've kind of noticed that too in general, just hiring younger coaches and maybe even like NBA players as coaches, which I like that. I think everybody's kind of following the whole, what is it? Was it like hire somebody right off the bat or just, I think everybody is firing a coach that has not done anything for like 7 or 8 years and has been like average. They'd rather get a just fresh face. I mean, kind of see that with the Mavs right now. Like, I think with the firing of Rick Carlisle, people were just kind of like, yes, we won a championship in 2011, but it's been 10 years. 10 years. And so with that firing, what is going to be there's only 6 coaches now that have been around since 2018, 3 years. I think 5 or 6 coaches. But I think the NBA coach position is getting so musical chair, revolving chair. And I mean, the Celtics fired Brad Stevens, or not fired, but just kind of moved on from him. And like Brad Stevens is now the like director of operations. But even Brad Stevens can get on the hot seat after going to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 and 4 years. That's wild. It's like if you are in the same position, if you finish the same every year, you're more likely to get fired. You could go to the Eastern Conference Finals for 4 years, but if you don't advance or anything, you get fired. It's kind of weird how that's a thing. It's kind of crazy looking back at that. Saw the Suns won the game-winning shot with that Jay Crowder pass to Ayton. Man, I can't express how much I love how that 2018 draft, everybody got picked in the right organization. Trae Young got picked in a great Atlanta organization that fit him well. Ayton fits in the Suns organization because he's not as great as Trae or Luka, but they didn't need someone as great as Luka or Trae. They had Devin Booker. So it's a beautiful match of all three of those stars. I think the Suns are going to win these next two games. Chris Paul is coming back, or they're going to win the next 2 out of 3. And I'm really confused about how Kawhi Leonard's already coming back. I thought he had an ACL injury, but you just never know with Kawhi because it doesn't talk. But I can't believe the Suns won these 2 games. Might have been the series deciding because having Kawhi or just having rumblings of Kawhi is enough. If the series were tied 1-1 going back to LA, Kawhi and the Clippers would have a pretty good chance. But the fact that Chris Paul is coming back, I'm very impressed with how the Suns played without Chris Paul. I really thought they needed Chris Paul a lot more, but they really don't. It's really interesting. I'm very impressed about how good they are without Chris Paul. That team is just great and deep from top to bottom. The Bucks-Hawks series starts tonight. I think the Bucks are going to win a smooth game tonight. What is it? The Bucks, they're going to win this in 6 or 7. I just don't think the Hawks have enough firepower to deal with the Bucks. I think the Bucks won the conference by beating the Nets. I think it's going to be a Bucks-Suns series, which is going to be very fun. I'm really excited about that. Very fresh, very new. Devin versus Giannis. Who would have thought? Who would have thought the Finals MVP would be either Giannis or Devin Booker or even Trae Young? But yeah, I think there's a new direction in the NBA right now because I really think LeBron is on his last couple of legs. Even as LeBron, man, he is old. This last year was very, even when LeBron was healthy, he was not moving the same. And yes, that's crazy to say. He's still putting up almost triple-double numbers. But what I'm saying is it's not a prime LeBron anymore. I think prime LeBron is dead. But, declining LeBron is still amazing. I'm not disputing that. Let's not be dumb here. But, of course, when LeBron is not in his prime, you're going to have players inevitably going to match who LeBron is currently. And I think stars like Devin and Giannis and Kevin Durant, of course, are matching that for real. Very. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see this new era in a way because it's going to be. I don't know about the Warriors. It's going to be, no LeBron, no Kawhi, no Steph, no KD. This is very fresh. I think this is the first NBA Finals since 1989 or 88. Man, I don't know. Basically, the last 30 years of basketball have been either whoever's been in the finals has either been from the Lakers, Cavs, Heat, Spurs, Warriors, Bulls, and Rockets. Those 7 teams have just basically dominated the last 25 years of basketball. And so you got these random teams. You got the Suns and the Bucks. The Suns have never won. The Bucks haven't won since 71. Very brand new. And I like it. It's fresh colors. Fresh. I like it. What else? I saw that Michael Finley could be the next Mavericks GM. I think I like it. I think we're just talking about how players are getting more credit or getting more hired nowadays in the NBA. So I like it. I mean, you got James Jones in Phoenix. You got there's other players. I just can't mention them, but I just can't name them right now. But the hiring of James Jones with the Phoenix Suns to really turn around that organization. What else? So yeah, it's gonna be fun to see. Becky Hammon, is that her name? It's looking like she's gonna be the first women's NBA head coach. That's gonna be very intriguing. It's gonna be I'm very interested to watch that just because it's never been done before, and I'm sure she's gonna do a great job, of course. But I mean, there's rumors that she's gonna get the Blazers position, Blazers head coach, and I don't know. It's gonna be a very interesting dynamic. It'll be fun to see. It will be fun to see. I think even if she doesn't get this position, just of how much of a lead she has on just every other woman head coach, it seems, or potential woman's head coach. I can't name another like woman right now in the NBA coaching wise right now. Yeah, Becky Hammon definitely in a league of her own. But I'm very intrigued to see what happens with her. We'll see. It's just like I'm just intrigued to see it, just to observe it, just to see a woman coach leading a bunch of dudes. It's gonna be kind of cool. I don't know. I can't even picture right now, but it'll be fun. Let's see what else. I saw Molly Qerim and ESPN is getting killed for like saying Phoenix and Milwaukee are terrible cities. They're talking about how like First Take travels with the NBA Finals, and so they always kind of look at that a little bit. I know Stephen A does, and I was like, okay, Milwaukee, whatever, you can say that, but Phoenix is not that horrible. Like Phoenix is a top 10 city. I was very confused about that. I was like, I mean, it's not that crazy. It's not that. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with Phoenix, but I was very surprised to hear that. I was like, yo, don't be hating on Phoenix like that. I would not want a Clippers Hawks series just because of like. I mean, okay, do the Clippers count? The Clippers do not count. All right, like I get that. Now, if it was the Suns and if it was the Lakers, I get that. But the Clippers do not count in LA. They don't. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I saw. I think some Milwaukee like contacted them saying, "Come to Milwaukee if we get the finals, and we'll show you around." And then they're still not gonna like it. I mean, I get that. Milwaukee is terrible. Like, come on now. Like Milwaukee, I can't name a single thing in Milwaukee. Everybody forgets that city is in Wisconsin. What is in Wisconsin? What, Green Bay, right? Aaron Rodgers doesn't even stay in Green Bay. That tells me all I need to know. That Wisconsin, really? Whatever. But yeah, I mean, you can't be saying that on live TV though. That's all I'm saying. Say that a secret, but don't include Phoenix on that. Like I was offended for Phoenix. I like Phoenix. What else? That's about it. Songs of the week and shout outs. What we got? Song of the week, Kiss Me More by Doja Cat and SZA. This is honestly the song of the summer. I'm going to say it right now. Song of the summer. Because it has that summery vibe, of course. But it's just nice. Fun. Cutesy. It gives me a Watermelon Sugar vibe from last, because Watermelon Sugar was like a top 3 summer song of 2020. But yeah, just kind of a nice, just This is nice. I'm just so impressed about how Doja Cat has bounced back from that whole, racist situation she was kind of involved in a couple years ago. And now she's like one of the top. She's definitely a top career artist right now. I definitely did find her first. Yes, I told her I was the first Doja Cat fan in my friend group, for sure. But let's see. Yeah, that song is pretty nice. It is really nice. Shout outs. What we got? Shout out to the city of Phoenix. Phoenix is underrated. Their heat is not that crazy. Yes, it's 113, 20,000 degrees, but it's a different heat. It's not humid. It's not sticky. I would rather take Phoenix 115-degree weather than Dallas, 105-degree weather. It's very not the same. But yeah, I like it. Phoenix has like the 8th most people in the country, So I've never understood why people hate Phoenix. And it's cheap. I think honestly Phoenix might be the next Dallas in a way. Yeah, I think I'm getting vibes that it might be the next Dallas. I'm getting callings, But yeah, whatever. That's about it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Peace. Shout out. Life. Peace.